Welcome to Hyperion Marketing Returns Rockefeller Consulting. Today we're going to give you a quick overview of our proprietary Six Sigma approach that allows you to use return on investment as a key performance indicator to control your marketing and sales activities. A quick introduction of who we are. I'm Ray Bednar. I'm the managing partner of the firm. And a couple of years ago, I wrote a book called Sponsorship's Holy Grail, which was the application of Six Sigma to the specific marketing channel of sponsorship. I wrote that as a result of my training received while running a company at General Electric and was able to apply a methodology that later was used at Bank of America when I was the global head of sponsorships to allow our CEO to testify to Congress during the Troubled Asset Relief Program time frame, that for every dollar that we spent on sports marketing, we received back $9 in revenue, and that dropped to $3 in net income. So by having this approach, we were able to winnow away the non-productive assets in our sponsorship portfolio and focus on the ones that were significantly producing returns to the tune of 9-1. My partner is Mark Rockefeller. He was the vice chairman of Rockefeller Financial, and he sits on the board of NROC, which was the prototype of all venture capital firms started by his uncle Lawrence a number of years ago. Our value proposition centers around the idea that you can optimize your spending in any marketing portfolio if you understand the returns that you're getting from each one of the channels within that marketing portfolio. Meaning, there's an optimal way to spend in out of home, an optimal way to spend in advertising, in print, in sponsorship, in online, in offline, in SEO, in all kinds of channels. There is an optimal amount of money past which the next dollar doesn't get you a better or a greater increase in ROI. There is a natural peak at which you're going to attain in any sort of investment, and this process allows you to understand when that peak is achieved and how to then allocate the money over to other resources so you can spend the same or less and get better results. We believe that this then allows us to get rid of wasteful spending in places we're not sure where the return is actually coming from and move towards measured results. Thus, we control spending with tools, and they're very proactive instead of reactive. Most metrics that you see in operation today connecting with marketing will be what I call rearview mirror metrics. They will look at last quarter's sales and trying to determine if there's a connection between last quarter's sales increase and the marketing programs that had gone on. Well, the problem with that is you can't decide whether or not you're doing well in the time frame that you're doing it. All you're able to say is for the $10 million, for the $10,000, whatever number you're talking about you spent, you believe there is a correlation, hopefully with a high R squared value, a big correlation between your marketing program and that actual result in revenue or sales, profitability, whatever it is you measure. However, it's in the rearview mirror. You've already done it, you've spent it, now you got to figure out how to do it in the future. We're talking about making informed decisions, near term and long term, to substantially impact the financial gain on a basis that can be acted upon in days rather than in months or quarters. We do that through very simple control centers that look like dashboards. Here's an example of a 6-part dashboard. Everybody's dashboard looks totally different, and it always is centered upon those metrics, those key performance indicators that are most important to our clients. So this won't look like yours. It won't look like anybody else's. It'll be specific to your strategic and tactical business objectives. We're different. We're very unique. We're very different than your other agency resources, and we get this question quite a bit, like, why can't I have my current agency, my current sports agency, my current advertising agency, my current media buying agency, why can't I have them do that? And the reason that we're different is because this is what we do. We don't have friends in the media world. We don't have friends in the agency world. We don't have friends in the properties world. We are just a complete and total metric measurement firm that helps you understand where to put your money. And because we're small, we're very efficient, we can do this better than anybody else. It's not ancillary service, it's what we do. Very briefly, the difference between how most decisions are made in marketing, and here we're going to use the example of sponsorship. decisioning differ from our decision methodology are quite significant. On the left, you see just basically the proposal, whatever it is the investment could be, in this case, a sponsorship proposal of $2 million is proposed to a corporation, a business, a client, and they determine whether or not it makes sense for them, and they decide whether or not to work with it and mold it to their company's objectives. Our methodology on the right-hand side starts completely upside down, which is why the funnel is inverted, with what are you trying to achieve as a business, and from that perspective, what are the best things you can do to drive those business objectives, which may or may not be something that's been proposed to you, like a $2 million sponsorship event, a $20,000 golf tournament, local sponsorship, or whatever it is. It could also be a big media buy. It could be a big advertising buy in a magazine. It could be supporting of a local event or something. And the question is not whether or not that's a good proposal. The question is whether or not your business outcomes can be achieved best by putting your money there versus somewhere else. That's the brief overview of the company. I hope that you found it interesting and you'll take the opportunity to take our introductory course in how to understand the business acumen, the language of business. How do people talk at the top of organizations, whether they're presidents or general managers or CEOs? How do they talk up there? And how does that interface with what you're trying to do in the marketing world so that you can become part of that conversation and become not a cost center, a spending center, but rather an informed and participative senior management member in driving the company's goals and business objectives. Thank you, and I look forward to working with you.